In today's class, I am going to explain various elements of a user interface. Various elements of a user interface. In the last class, we have seen that how to develop a VB application. Okay, by following the 4 steps, generally we develop the VB application. The first one is the creating a user interface. Second one is setting properties. Third one is writing code, and the fourth one is execute the application. The first step, that is creating a user interface. So how to create a user interface? What is a user interface? A user interface is a screen which is visible to the end user. A user interface is a screen which is visible to the end user. This user interface screen we can develop by using a form. A form is nothing but a user interface screen. A form is nothing but a user interface screen. Okay, form is a container control. A form is a basic control. It holds all other controls to create the user interface screen. A form holds all other controls to develop the user interface screen. Okay, various elements of a user interface means there are different types of controls. There are so many controls to develop a user interface screen to place the controls onto the form. Okay, the following are the basic controls that are available on the toolbox components. The toolbox component is one of the IDE component. A toolbox is one of the IDE component. The toolbox contains 21 basic controls. 21 basic controls. By placing these controls onto the form, setting the required properties and writing the code in the events, a programmer can develop the user interface screens. Okay, so this is a toolbox. This is a toolbox having 21 controls except this pointer control. Pointer control is used to select other controls. Pointer control is used to select other controls. Okay, so placing these controls, required controls, placing these controls means required controls onto the form based on the application which we are developing is nothing but creating a user interface. These are all called as various elements. Okay, these are all various controls or various elements. So this is the list of controls: picture box, label, text box, frame, command button, checkbox, option button, combo box, and list box, timer, horizontal, vertical scroll bar, file system control, drive, directory, file, list box. These are all controls are available on the toolbox. With the help of these controls which are available on the toolbox, we develop the user interface screens. These are called as various elements of a user interface. Various elements, because with the help of these controls only we develop the applications in VB. Okay, so picture box, label, text box, list box. So okay, and the next one, by placing as per the requirement of application, we develop the form. So as per our requirement, we select the controls and we drag the controls onto the form, and generally we develop the user interface screen. Okay, so where we drag and place the control, we drag and place the controls, required controls, onto the form, because the form is a basic control or container control. It holds all other controls to develop the application. With the help of these controls and with the help of this form, it means that placing the required controls onto the form, we develop the user interface screen. Okay, so these are all elements of the user interface. All elements, the combination of these controls or elements, we develop the user interface screens. Okay, so how to place the control? Okay, we see in the last class, simply selecting the control or double click on the control, we place that control onto the form, right? So, and after that we set the properties, we write the code. Okay, we set the properties, we write the code, and we execute the application. Okay, these are all the called as various elements of a user interface. With the help of these controls, these elements only, we develop the application. So now I will show you these controls by opening VB application. Okay, so now I am opening this VB. programs. So directly you see here Microsoft Visual Basic 6.0. Simply click on this one. Okay, so we already know that this is a standard exe type of application. So click on open. Okay, this is a toolbox. This is a toolbox or components of one of the components of IDE. One of the components of IDE, pointer control. Okay, picture box control. Okay, when you move the cursor on a particular control, it is showing the name of the control, that is picture box. It is called as tooltip. It is called as a tooltip. So simply just you place the cursor here. What type of control is this? Is the option button. Okay, so based on the requirement of the application, simply we say double click on the control. Automatically the control is placed onto the form, or by else select the control and drag that control onto the form. Select the control and drag that control onto the form. When you select this one, the cursor becomes crosshair symbol, plus symbol. Simply just drag onto the form. Automatically the control is placed onto the form. Okay, so when you select the control, it shows the properties of that particular control. When you select the control, it shows the properties of the control. Here this is a command button control. Just simply you place the mouse here, it shows the control name. This is a command button control. Okay, so when you select this command button control, it shows the properties of that control. Okay, here the properties are name, appearance, back color, caption, default, disable, like that. So many properties of this control. Using this properties window, simply we change the names. We change here, if for example I want to change this caption as submit. Okay, so simply select this one, delete this property and enter submit. Okay, so previously it shows command 1. This is the name of, by default the command button caption is command 1. So when we change this caption property submit, so it is showing this is called a caption. Submit is the caption. Okay, so name is different from caption. Name is command 1 and the caption means it shows like a label. Then it shows like a label. Okay, right, these are all the various type of elements to create the user interface screen. Okay, thank you.